Alright, Abuja for Mamila Makwaba, Eba Ghana Politics Avenue. Ahana Mope all the trending political stories in Ghana on Sa Bitumi. I kept be fast forward me. Mamila Mafisha, Pafis, say, and yin I won't come one more day. Not the edition of Himono, Yensa Akabi. Then the story ready, bring a year NTBI, 31st of this month, that's January. And MPP for Yomo Franca Tunium, the Moko 2028 elections. Na I'm about to in a Hun Sense Abba. Na ura Musa Dankwa a oda Global Info Analytics ano omo ye dwumadi na dwumaku bia abatu bia ye betu na Ghana no omo di kan ye hwehwemu ehwe di obetime weni any percentage obetime da weni any di amanfo dwenifa candidate biara ho na we no omo hwehwemu bi omo akoye ekire say the two leading candidates in MPP flag bearership race no eye yewura Dr. Ahaj Muhammadu Bawumia any yewura Kennedy Akompre kwa Japan omume ne dikan omu post omayi na omume ne dikan na we na so wasa ye hwehwemu bi edatia for NDC leading candidates a omu so ba be pre Franca Tuni no ama NDC 2028 na we na so ne hwehwemu a wa ye kire se odi Dr. Bawumia compare sa for other candidates a omu ye yewura sedin katia Julius Debra Haruna Idris ana to force na ni nyina Bawumia be di nkugu video
elections were between these candidates and face to face with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as MPP candidate. Who would they vote for?
This is for the December one.
For the December one. And then we said, assuming MPP elects Kennedy Japan, and he comes face to face with these NDC frontrunners, who would you vote for? So if you start with the NDC candidate against Bawumia, so first one is Honorable Haruna Idrisu against Bawumia. The poll shows that Haruna Idrisu will secure 56% of the vote. Bawumia will get 40%. And 4% said they will vote for somebody else. Then you say, what if it is Akuffo that the NDC elects against Bawumia? Then Akuffo goes to 58%, and Bawumia goes to 38%. Again, 4% said they'll vote for somebody else. And then you slot in Asedun Ketia against Bawumia. Then Asedun Ketia goes to 53%, Bawumia 43%. Again, 4% someone else. But if you slot in Julius Debra against Bawumia, Debra goes to 50%, Bawumia 46%, 4% again, someone else. If you flip the coin and say, assuming MPP elects Kennedy, how would you vote? Haruna Idrisu against Kennedy. Haruna goes to 61%. 61%. And Ken goes to 34%, or on 34%. If you bring in Akuffo against Kennedy, Akuffo goes to 62%. Against Ken, 34%. If you bring in Asedun Ketia, he goes to 57%. Ken goes to 38%. And then if you bring in Julius Debra, he goes on 53%, and Ken 41%. So this is the scenario that we have run in the December polling that we just released.
Which means that in all of it, Bawumia is doing better.
Yes, that's the data at the moment. He's doing better than Ken.
But he's still being beaten.
Yes.
By any of this. But then the question will be, what are the respondents, or what did the respondent consider to let them decide that?
It's for them to go and find out. The poster should not be asked to go and do everything for them.
Okay.
You should, as a research, we do polling, opinion research. For those who want to find the reason why, it's not the work of the pollster to find
But you don't ask why you're voting for this person. You only say, who will you vote for?
That's it. But we haven't got the time to sit there for 30 minutes to ask you why. Because if you pay us to go and find out why, we'll spend time with the voter and comprehensively assess why he made that decision. We're not there to find out why. And that's why some of them think that our work is not useful. Of course, it's not useful for them because that's not why we are there for. Okay. So people will choose what they want to choose based on factors. look, you can triangulate. You can find out what were their responses when it comes to direction of the country. People who said right direction, who were they voting for? Those who say wrong direction, who are they voting for? You can use what we call cross-tabulation to see what could have influenced them to make the choices they are making. So there are ways we could do that, but it's not for us to do that for the politicians. Okay. But the fact is that, look, the political environment is very, very hostile at the moment to the MPP.
Yeah, is that not influenced by the fact that they just left office, people were angry, and that the 1 year of Mahama has been
That is why it is opinion poll. If it is held today, who would you vote for? What's the question?
Okay.
Not who would you vote for in 2028.
So it means that it could change.
Of course, it will change. We've done that since 2022, and we've seen numbers go up and down until we got to the elections time. So the track record of us taking that data is there. We did Alan versus Mahama, Bawumia versus Mahama, and Ken versus Mahama over time. So that data is there for us to reference to.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. This is not your game, right? So let me go to Ekia.
Which game? This is not my game. You think I'm not a politician?
Oh no, you are. But this is with Ekia's candidate and their contender against your people. So
no problem.
Ekia,
we are solid.
I'm not sure this was something you were expecting to hear, right?
No, actually, so I have been through, I cannot even lie, I am an avid consumer of data. So I have read through it. I've been following the polls, all of them, with Global Info Analytics, all the other ones that come out, except the one that I came out to disclaim, because after going through that one, I could tell that was a very short job. Anyway, that's an aside. So yeah, I'm not quite surprised, because that's exactly what the poll said, if we are going by that. But to me, as Musa said, if I want more information, we would have to commission him to do some work to understand what is going on and what is influencing these factors. But to me, I think as the party, as MPP, it is very, very important that we make selfless decisions going into this election. We have only a few days to the election, January 31st. It is very important that we begin to put the party first. And
all right, welcome again to the AM show. Let's delve into the news review segment, but starting with what the papers are reporting. Let's start with the Chronicle newspaper today, and the banner headline: Dombo family backs Brian. You know, Brian Achampo was in Wale Wale recently to campaign, as he still is on his journey seeking to be elected as flag bearer of the NPP for the 2028 election. And that took him to Wale Wale, where we understand Dombo family backed him by presenting some fugu to him. So get details of that story on page 2 and 3. But what does that also mean, for Dr. Bawumia, because this is his backyard? We'll get details of that there. Former MPs mount pressure on government for salary arrears, and I'm sure you know this man, IKJC, the grammarian, passes on. That's a sad one there. Let's do other papers now. And the Ghanaian Times banner headline: ensuring examination credibility, strict invigilation won't be compromised. President Mahama, he said this at the NAT Congress, which is underway. He says that over the past years, some batches of SHS students were deliberately aided to cheat just to give them a good picture. But he says that wasn't good, and that this is not something that he's going to support. He would ensure that he supports the teachers to prepare the student well for the examination, but there will be strict, invigilation to ensure that quality is not compromised. So that is what is on, in the Ghanaian Times, and I check details on page 12 of that paper. Passengers stranded in Accra, no buses to convey travelers as work, school resume. Okay, so let's see. It comes with a photograph of stranded passengers traveling to Takrady and Cape Coast at Kaneshi. If you have some buses, this is now time for you to put them on the road. And today, we understand Akuffo will be paying a historic visit to the IGP at the police headquarters in Accra. So you would have to watch out for that, but get details on page 11 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. The Insight, SMG condemns U.S. aggression against Venezuela. And yesterday I watched a video of the son of the Venezuelan president making a passionate appeal, you know, to the people of Venezuela to support his father. And he said, you'll be back in Venezuela very soon to meet up with the boys. SMG is condemning the U.S. aggression there. Ghana worried over U.S. military invasion over Venezuela, calls for release of Maduro. I'm sure you've read that statement from the Foreign Affairs Minister. Again, Adam GH drags third term bid to Supreme Court for interpretation. Oh, really? That's an interesting one. What will the Supreme Court say on that one? Page 6 and 7 has details. And Mamprogo Traditional Council slams removal of... let me just end it there. Economic stability boost auto business as inflation drops, says Erata Motors CEO. So that is for the insights. Let's do other papers now. Let's check out, I think, the Catalyst newspaper. Okay, good. Now, CD ranks second best currency in the world in 2025. Good board fueled rally transforms Ghana's economy, setting a new model for Africa. So those are the stories in the Catalyst as well. Get a Catalyst and get details of those stories. Well, that's it there. Daily Guide. Top clergy endorse Ken A. Japan. And that's when I think he attended the 31st church service of, okay, I've forgotten this Reverend Minister, but we understand that top clergy endorses Ken A. Japan. It's on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. $240 million gold purchase loss. Gold board fights back. They've been explaining why this is not on their neck. Brian takes over Wale. Wale receives rousing welcome. Frank Edu is Zen Petroleum new board chair. And you know this man for what he did in the banking space. And Reverend Wengam calls for patriotic citizens. You and I, we need to be patriotic. Well, let's do myjoyonline.com. Speed up as people are losing hope. Domlevo presses AG on corruption cases. All right. A year without big scandals and the new Mahama government could shift corruption perception, Domlevo says. And managing power without retaliation is Ghana's real test, Professor Ajimandia says. I mean, let's end it there and rather go join my guest there. But on Zoom today, we're being joined by Dr. Akuffo. She's deputy spokesperson for the Dr. Bawumia campaign team. And in studio, I am joined by Musa Dankwa. He is executive director for Global Info Analytics. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And I also have Dr. Julius Kwekukata. He is a chartered economist and a member of the NDC's National Communications team. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Hope all is well.
I'm fine.
Okay.
How are you too?
I'm well. Again.
Happy New Year.
Many happy returns to you. Akroma is with us on Zoom. Good morning to you. Oh, I guess you have to unmute, Akia.
My bad. Yeah. Good morning and Happy New Year to you and all your lovely viewers this morning. I hope everybody had a good weekend.
We did. I was expecting to see you in studio live. Today you are doing Zoom.
Charlie, it's not easy. You know, we are still doing the Greater Accra Regional campaign. So,
it shall be well.
The timing is very tight.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining. Anyway, let's start off with this one. Strict invigilation won't be compromised. President Mahama. And he seeks to draw in the fact that in the past, some students were allowed to cheat just for them to look good. He says, the story says, he noted that cheating in examination at senior high school level, particularly over some years now, was deliberate to quote and unquote embellish the performance of certain batches of graduates to make some people look good. That approach President Mahama emphasized has been exposed by the poor results of the 2025 batch, where nearly half of the 446,352 candidates who sat for WASI failed the core subject of mathematics, general science, and social studies. Let's start from there. Mr. Dangwa.
You know, we've had issues of exam malpractice for many years, but I don't think it's been this profound until recent times. I remember when we were in school together, Paul, you will not even, I mean, you will not get it. But it became so open secret that people are buying a poll in recent times and writing exams and passing because of that. And my very good friend Kofi Asari, Educational Watch, or Edu Watch, has been complaining about this for some time. And when it comes to educational matters, I always refer to Kofi Asari. Look, we've gotten to a point where people or students were prepared just to pass exams and not to learn things. You know, and that's why when they come out of school, they can think outside the box, but they were just prepared to pass the exams. They were given the guidelines as to what questions will come, these are the kind of questions that will come, and this is how you should write your response, and we were passing out of, from that. And I think there was another exposure when they migrate into the universities, where they become a liability at the universities. They can't comprehend basic things. And it's not something that we can sustain. We need to really get a grip on that, and we need to make sure that people are educated, not just taught to pass the exams. It's worrying. I mean, if that trend continues, I think we would pay a heavy price for it down the line.
But really, is it down to, I mean, the performance we saw in the past, is it all down to, say, allowing students to cheat in exams?
You know, I think there are so many factors that account for the cheating. If they haven't got the basics of learning, there are no materials to learn. The time given to them to learn is very short. They can't achieve that much. Then it becomes a reason for them to cheat and not to pass. So the cheating alone didn't start from just cheating. It's because the system had failed.
Okay.
And they don't want to go out without a grade that they can't take to universities. So they devise ways and means to get through to university. But unfortunately, it really affects their ability to comprehend issues at the tertiary level. So hopefully we're not just going to stop the cheating, but make resources available at the schools so teachers can have what they need to teach. The textbooks should be there. The time that the students must have with teachers should be enough engagement. And above all, I think conducive atmosphere in the schools are important to ensure that people pass well.
But okay, you are a lecturer. I mean, when it comes to the school environment, and Musa Danko says that preparing the student itself, a lot of them were just prepared to do it, to pass exams. But how do we correct that? And how did we get there?
First of all, thank you very much. I would like to take the opportunity and the platform to greet all the NDC fraternity, especially the NEC, the executives of the party, as well as the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama. I would applaud him for coming out boldly to make this statement. I always say that I'm coming from a background of an educationist, and I believe that those who know me very well knows that my brothers and sisters are all professors, educationists, and all that. And Kofi Asari, he knows. What happened is that the education doesn't come from only in the schools. The education begins at home. The kind of teaching that your parents and your relatives give you entails on what you are going to achieve in formal education as well. And the first thing that I learned is humility. The second thing that I learned from home is discipline. I don't remember the day where my parents had the opportunity to back me when I'm doing the wrong thing. They always have to put you on your toes. That also translates to public encounters. And the core of it is the discipline. Now, we are seeing changes in educational formalities because some interference are coming from parents as well, where parents want the quick way of their children to, reach the highest height. It's also not the best. Within the education, there are times for every stage. If we don't observe those times that are needed for us to go through the processes of learning, and the curve goes up and come down. Because definitely the learning curve says that the rich and the poor can meet. We assume that because it's only the rich who have the opportunity to go to school, and Lentio curve describes that. I would say that, to be honest with you, we need to institutionalize discipline in our schools. We need to provide logistics for the schools. We need to have timely counseling of the student at every stage, even from kindergarten. The way you mold the child, the way you talk to the child is also very important. And that translates into not doing this kind of examination teaching. I remember very well that one time at the mission school in St. Mary's Seminary Secondary School, while I was in Form 4, I got out silence hour where we do private reading. Got out and then speed.
Abusadamu na mase samaji brain am that see yes them diga kana Ghana Politics 7. Open all the trending political stories in Ghana. Heya na onsa bekan. And then di kan oba channel you so be subscribe to channel. Now if you try hit notification bell na on adoma na on na won che on na don sa boss say be the video furu bia betuma onsa bitimi aka bi. Now if you so be video be like no share na wa comment na ma afoforo nso nsa aka video yi bi. Na ma hu Ghana de ekoso ya manyu semu na matime ahwe so de abo wo mbra ya da mu nyina masese maji bre na mda tie ye aha ye Ghana Politics Avenue ya kra mu nyina bye bye.